Good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard the ship. The ship just had a noise going on there. That's why I was trying to check things out, trying to figure out what was going on. I looked like I had some music I was playing that I accidentally hit when I was trying to look through a couple maps here or there. And it kind of just was the noise in the background. I am your meteorologist, Brian Burden, here with the forecast for April 30th. Can you believe it? April 30th, the last day of April already. And it's a Thursday heading into Friday tomorrow, heading into the weekend. And I've got some good stuff and I've got some bad stuff, of course, in the forecast, which is what we always tend to see, right? One way or the other, we're going to be seeing something that's, at least for a weatherman, is always happy, but for you guys out there, not quite the same. So, all right. So right now, outside, if any of you have stuck your head outside the little window out there and you took a look, because I barely did, I saw sunshine on the ground, which was nice. Nice to see after yesterday. We got a little bit of sunshine. Maybe you got a little more in some places, but up here on the north side of town, we didn't see much at all. We saw basically clouds with a couple spots of sunshine. And we just kind of stayed on that edge of the cloud layer all day yesterday, it looked like. So hopefully you were able to get a little bit more than we had up here, make you feel a little bit better. And it was windy enough yesterday that it was cold enough. It just felt chilly, right? Well, then what happened? The skies opened up overnight and the temperature plummets. Remember, as soon as you lose your clouds, you lose your blanket that keeps the temperature in. And then all of that warm air advects or just goes off into the atmosphere and it gets colder here. And sure enough, we were down like 36, 37 in a lot of areas this morning. So definitely chilly. Shows you how cold we still can get here as we head into May. And we'll see if there's any frost possibilities coming up, because there looks like there may be potential for tomorrow or Saturday morning. Just depends on amounts of rain and when it's going to fall. The cloud cover kind of gets out of here. We've got some rain coming in, and then it'll try to drop the temperatures, and it may get very cold tomorrow night into Saturday morning for sure. So let's get right into the numbers. Let's start talking about it. I know that's what you want to talk about instead of looking at this ugly mug, although I'll stick it up into the corner. Look at that. Just so you can, I don't know what for, you can see what I'm doing, that I'm not AI, right? I'm not AI. Look at this face. Would AI make an ugly face like this? I don't think so. I would have put a better face, I would have put something much nicer up there. All right, so 44 degrees. We've rebounded nicely already this morning. When I first popped it up about 15 minutes ago, it was at 41, so we've warmed up pretty nicely. Looks like we're going to get somewhere close to about 60 to 63, I would think, today, with plenty of sunshine, but advancing clouds later in the afternoon, which could kind of stop that temperature right around 60, give or take a degree or two, all right? So, because I think we'll be at 60 by 3 o'clock maybe. But by 4 o'clock, we'll be seeing the clouds come in. Will there be enough to get that extra degree or two? It'll be close, but it's still not a bad day at all, stepping up for us today. 44 now, 2 miles an hour wind. Visibility, looks like there's some fog out there by the airport, 1.7 miles. We'll probably be able to pick up some of that on some of the cameras as we go through those here shortly. And they're saying a high of 60 today. I'd say 60 to 62 is a good, strong possibility. We'll see what happens with some of the advancing clouds coming in. And yes, there is rain on the pane for tonight. But we talked about that yesterday, and we'll get right into it. Let's just actually look at some of the cameras around the state right now. And I'm going to look at West Lafayette. Let's start in West Lafayette. Look at that. Lots of sunshine today. All right. Dry roads. Everything looks good. Look at how green the grass looks. Very nice in the local area right now. And then let's pop down there. Here we are at the mall. Even though we don't get to see the sky, we get to see dry ground on that one, right? All right, let's pop out to Fowler. Let's go for the car count today. Car count is 0 today. All right, we're back to 0, but we have gorgeous sunshine out there. You can see it very well. I'm going to run through these pretty quick because we know we're going to see the same thing just about everywhere. Let's see what the traffic looks like there on the interstate. It looks pretty good right where the work area is, just to the north of Rensselaer, just north of the exit there. All right, and then as we turn around the other direction, we look good. Blue skies, nothing to see here. Oh, we go down to the 231 junction, and this spectacular camera they put in, this very high-def camera, will help me on some days, I'm sure, to see some of the cloud cover that's out there. Then you see the Remington exit itself is looking pretty high and dry. I'm looking for things like water in the fields. We're not seeing any of that. There was some water along here a few weeks ago, you could see, but not this week. We look dry there at the 231 junction. Same thing here. You can see it's a little darker, so it's still a little damp, but not much standing water anywhere we can be seen here. That place down near Frankfort, that's the one we got to look for. Here's State Road 18, looking really nice there. Same thing. Not much for traffic, at least in this morning. And same thing for State Road 43, where it crosses 65. And we look back towards the north and off towards the west. You'll see that it's high and dry. I can just barely pick out the horizon there. I like them to pop that camera up a little bit. Then looking back towards 43 from 25, a lot of blue sky there, of course, and the roads look very nice. So I'm seeing more and more of the same. State Road 26, no problems there. We're just kind of glancing around to see what we can see. There you go. A very nice day everywhere down State Road 38 and Dayton. The exit, here's the one with water. They still got water in the fields here down near Frankfort, and the exit there on State Road 28. You can see the water in different places. So that's something that's a bummer there, at least on that side. But let's go and take a look at the satellite picture. And I popped up the big picture here to start with because look how chaotic it is to the south, right? Okay, very chaotic, lots of systems down there to our south, but that also tells me that the jet stream has dropped to the south, and we are in the coldest pocket of it, and you can kind of see where a low pressure system is rotating around up here to the north, right? See that? And everything else is going around it in a way. But the jet stream has dropped all the way to the south and down into these areas. Matter of fact, you can kind of see the influence of the subtropical jet to the south maybe a little bit with some of the arcing coming into Mexico, then Arizona, and into New Mexico, which is helping to give them some showers and thunderstorms down south of us. For us, though, it looks rather benign. There's nothing there for cloud cover really at all. You don't really see much. You see some clouds off to our west out in Iowa. That's what will be coming in later today. And some up in the Dakotas, and some coming off of the mountains of Denver and Colorado into Kansas, that kind of thing. But we're high and dry today. We look pretty good. Let's change it over to the visual, see if we see any more. We see wide open skies around us. We know there's potential for some fog in a couple little spots. When we zoom in, we'll see if we can see some of that. Right now, though, it looks pretty good, and we're getting a lot of good visual shots this time of the day now. Let's go in a little closer. All right, let's take a look at the entire portion of Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, that kind of thing is what we're seeing here this morning. We see this band of, now you can see it a little bit better. There's showers out here, isn't there? There's some showers involved with this band that's in central Iowa right now. And then we're wide open for us. Indiana, Illinois looking great, lots of sunshine. And then Ohio's got the cloud cover today. So, what do? We put the radar on that. Let's see where the radar is. Sure enough, there's your showers right there. And that's the kind of activity we're going to be looking at later today. I think most of this off to the north just stays off to the north, goes along there. But this is the band that we will be looking at for coming in tonight. All right, so on that front. We'll go back to the visual. I'm going to go see how close in we can get here. There we go. And you can see Lafayette. I just want to see if I can pick up some of the fog. Sure enough, watch. See that little, you can see the river has fog in it, right? Anything around the valley and the river, and then not real thick right here. It burns off very fast. You can kind of see it pop up right around Lafayette, and it disappears. So watch out for some of the fog in a couple spots there. Looks like it popped up near the state line, too, there for just a little while, too. Although that one picture out there near Fowler, that camera looked pretty high and dry, did it not? So we looked pretty good, at least on that front. So there's your satellite, at least right now. I'll go back out to that sub-regional shot, and we'll keep an eye on the radar just to keep an eye on where things are at. There it is out in Iowa for the rest of the hour here. And then let's get into the models. Let's see what we're talking about right now. So there's the disturbance out in Iowa. This is basically 8 o'clock this morning. Let's go to 9 o'clock. Boom. There it is. It's just about exactly where it said it's going to be. This is the 6Z run for the high-resolution rapid refresh model. And you can see kind of where they've pinpointed a little low-pressure system in here. Let's see if we can draw that in there. And what color do we get this morning? We don't want to go with that color. We want to go with this color. All right, stay there. All right, so there's a low right there. We've got that, right? And we can watch the direction of where everything's at. We've also can notice the 540 line, right? Dip south of us, and we got very close to freezing this morning, right? Comparatively speaking, 36 degrees is pretty close. A couple spots, I'm sure, were maybe 35 or 34, but definitely a chilly morning this morning and more of the same. So watch this 540 line. If you keep watching me over the time periods, you'll be able to see what we're talking about when it comes to that kind of thing. Hey, Ray, good to see you this morning. Good morning to you. Same to Bill. All right, good to see you guys this morning. Just check the chat out, and hopefully things are looking good. Tennessee looking good down there, Bill. Looking really nice. Not bad this morning at all. He's probably freezing. It's probably 45 degrees down there. He's probably freezing. So, and Ray's on the south side of town, and he probably got a little more sunshine yesterday, but not a lot probably on his front. But for us, even though we're in the open right now, we're going to keep an eye on this disturbance right here coming towards us for tonight. And then we're going to keep an eye a little bit on Tennessee down here so we can see what Bill's going to be running into, all right? So that's what we'll see there. Well, you know what? I push the buttons once in a while, and I get a little bit of a sporadic activity if I don't watch what I'm doing on here, all right? So there we go. I am going to stop the recording. See there? It's recording it. I don't want it to record it. I don't want it to take up more memory, right? All right, so here we go. So there's the low. The low is up here. We've been talking about. Where is the low going to go? Well, watch it as it heads towards us, and it makes a beeline straight to Lafayette tonight. So here we are by 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's into Illinois already. It's also expanding, right? And by this is about 6 o'clock, you're going to see your first chance for a shower, maybe just a light chance. You see there's a few sprinkles out in front there more than anything else. Looking high and dry down in Tennessee this morning. All right, there we go. And then we go a little bit farther, and we see a little bit more. And we're just going to get into the good rain right around 10 o'clock tonight. And there looks like there could be a thunderstorm in there or two is a possibility on that front. So, well, I'm only going to get one or the other. Why is that? Maybe it's because I'm in this thing. Let's get out of here real quick. Let's get OBS back. There we go. That's what it was. So, got to watch what I'm doing with it. Bill said it's 53 down there. 53. Glorious morning in Nashville. We're going to call him our Nashville buddy. I don't know what we're going to call him. All I know is he's a good friend. That's the way you work on it. He's my brother. Ray's my brother. Bill's my brother. We're missing Roger. We got to get Roger in here for my brother. And then we get Craig in here for my son. Then we got the chat going. All right, so rain. Finally, I'm back to this. Rain, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Looks like there's a chance for a little bit of thunder in there. Then it hangs on overnight, and I'm going and I'm doing the same thing. I'm losing my other stuff that I can't see. All right, there we go. Look at that. Even some ice maybe potential or some snow up there in southern Michigan right now for tonight. Not for us. The atmosphere is still going to be stacked enough. We're still warm enough. We get a stray shower, still comes through by about 4 in the morning. Then there's some very isolated, scattered light stuff potential just there, and most of it misses us and goes through tomorrow and leads to a decent day tomorrow most of the day. But look at this. We still have some scattered light showers all out to our west by that point. And it looks like they're scattered enough that we don't have to worry about it too much, but it's something we'll keep an eye on for sure. Let's see what the new run's got on it. Does it got anything in here yet? Let's see here. select run 12Z. It's got 39%, so that'll give us a little bit. Let's see what it's saying. Is it changed any, really? No, it's got the rain in the same place. Everything looks about the same. I'm looking for timing, maybe a little bit more thickness. Are we going to get a little more rain? There you go. There you go. Now we're at 6 o'clock. That looks a little thicker than what it did. It looked like it was just a couple to me on the last one. I see a little bit more there. 7s, chances of rain there. Then, you're very spotty. Baseball games tonight might be a little rainy in spots. We'll have to worry about that. By 10 o'clock, the rain is on us, and by 11, it's really there. And by 12, it's really solidly on top of us. So this would be maybe a half hour to an hour slower, I would say, for the heavier rains, but the rain potential starts at about 6. 5 to 6 o'clock tonight. So that's what we'll shoot for, 5 to 7. And then it goes on out. All right. So that's where we are with at least that front. And what happened? The 540 line's still right here, right? Where is it at in the middle of the day? So here we are late in the day, and the 540 line is hovering around us. That tells me it's going to be chilly all day, even though we aren't going to have a lot of, even though we're going to have lots of sunshine, that'll help warm it up. It's still going to stay chilly all day today. Matter of fact, let's go in close. All right, let's go in closer, see what's going on for Indiana. Sorry, Bill, we're going to look a little bit at Indiana. I know you're interested in this area too because it's got kids. It's got family up here. It's got all kinds of stuff going on. So here's the rain. All right, so there it is. That's about, let's go here. Let's go 2 o'clock. And we see it cross the Mississippi, and we're looking pretty good. And then we'll get in a little closer. Lafayette's right here. You see that first little drabble of chance of a rain there. You like my specific forecasting words, dribble, drabble, right? Okay, so first scattered rains coming to the area around 6 o'clock. So let's call it 5 to 7 in there. Will give us a little bit of leeway on there. And then we see a shower or two, and then it drops off for a bit maybe. And then it's a little more isolated by about 10 o'clock. But by 10, we see there's a line of showers out here pretty good, and a big band of showers off to the north there. Almost look like its own mesoscale system here, right here, with a little low, a little warm front coming out, cold front going to the south, trough coming around the top side. Almost looks like that, just on a smaller scale. And then the rain comes in right there, definitely by midnight. That's where it's showing. 11 to midnight is the thickest. Now, so what kind? And then it goes through, and then it gets scattered behind here, and that's as far as the model goes. 4 in the morning. So let's come back. Let's go look at one of my favorite charts to look at, convective. We need to not simulated echo tops. Let's go to lightning density. I noticed that there's lightning in it already during the day out here to the west. Let's see what happens. It kind of dies away, then it picks up. Now, this isn't a great chance of lightning. These grays are just your average thunderstorms, right? We're looking for a really bright orangish red in there anywhere, and it's just not there, is it? Look, as it comes closer, here we are. In the evening hours, right? Now we're at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, and look how it just falls apart. There's not much there. Maybe a slight chance for a thunderstorm here or there. So we're going to hear a clap of thunder here or there possibly overnight tonight, but no chance of any severe weather in this system at all. So we're looking good on that front. All right, what else are we looking good on? Let's look at the temperatures. Let's see what they look like here. Now, we said it's chilly. Here it is this morning, right? 14Z is 10 o'clock. It says 46 degrees. We are currently at 44, so it's pretty close on that, isn't it? It's going to be right there in the next hour or so. We're going to warm up just a little bit. Our flow, which there's not a lot of it, lightly compared to yesterday, is from the southwest. There's just not a lot of warm air down there yet right now either, until you get down to Tennessee, where it's in the mid-50s for Bill. He's looking pretty good on his. And then as we move forward in that time frame, looks like Bill's low was 47 this morning. Yeah, so he's got his own thermometer and everything. I got to set up at my place. Get that here for me, and then you guys will know. And then we get Ray. We'll have our own little weather system set up, Well, I don't know what we'd call it. The Big Bros Brothers weather system. Triple B, right? Big Bros Brothers. That's how we got it. I've got one on the north side of town. Roger's got one on the west side of town. Ray's got one on the south side of town, and Bill's got one way down in Nashville, so we got that covered. Now we just got to start spreading the big brothers weather system out and about triple B, 3Bs. All right, so here we go. 46 this morning, all right? 50, 53, 55. Our flow is from the west, which is better than coming out of the north, right, which is where it was overnight. And you can kind of see where the low is settling in over here in your isobars pretty easily. And then by 4 o'clock this afternoon, we're right there hovering around 60. So do we get 61? It's just depending on how much cloud cover is being pushed in by this time frame. Because we're going to start seeing clouds coming in from the west. Probably around noon, you're going to start to see them on the horizon. So not that far away. And then we don't warm up. We don't get very cold overnight right away until after the system goes through. And then here we are at like 4 in the morning tomorrow morning. It's still 45 degrees, but it's made a big drop from like 50 in a few hours. And then it bottoms out tomorrow morning somewhere around 40, 41 degrees. Okay, so that's where we're at. You can see the 38s there as it clears out. And I'm a little... my thinking on this says it may be in the 43 range tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock because of the cloud cover, right? Keeping that temperature solid in there. The rain will have dropped the temperature a little bit, but it will stay fairly steady with clouds. And then if we just quickly clear out, then we could drop into these pockets of 30s. But you notice there's a big pocket right here coming off the lake and winds out of the north that will try to keep us a little bit warmer. I don't know if they spread it a little too far to the south, but it's there, and the potential is there for maybe upper 30s tomorrow morning as potential there. You can see freezing's not that far away up into Wisconsin and in some portions of Michigan also will be somewhere around that 50-degree mark. So let's start looking out a little farther, and let's look at the temperatures and see what the NAM-NEST says, because I'm interested in Saturday morning, too, for temperatures. Now, tomorrow morning, we're still showing 43. Does it get any colder? 41, 42 is the low on the NAM. And then when it goes out a little farther, it warms up to maybe... let's see, this is Friday's high temp. It's only going for like 55 for us. And the other model's showing 60, the HER is. But what does it show Saturday morning? This is the morning we've been focusing on getting to near freezing, and there it is. It's 33 degrees at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. You've got a very cold temperature there. They may put out some frost advisories because of this. We'll have to see what happens with that. But right now, it looks like they're going to be rather chilly in that area, right? So sunshine here for us. and Saturday morning, though, that's going to lead to probably a decent day Saturday. We'll have to see how the models continue on with that and when our next rain is going to be after tonight, though. And then it warms up Saturday. By 2 o'clock, it's back up to near 50. So it doesn't look like a very warm day on Saturday, and it looks like there's a little bit of wind in there. So it's going to be a chilly day, I think, on Saturday. Looks like we're still kind of in the pocket of cold weather. Our highs should be somewhere around, say, anywhere around 68. It'll be what? Monday the 2nd. Yeah, 68. Our lows should be like 46, and we're going to have highs that are only barely cracking 50 on Saturday, it looks like right now. Let's see what the GFS says about it. Now, the GFS has a pocket of something right there, some kind of low coming through with the rain on Saturday or something is what that kind of looks like. We're going to have to watch that. Look at that as that goes through. Boom. But it does show us getting up to like 52 on Saturday. And what does it go for a low on Friday morning, Saturday morning? Saturday morning, it's got us just around 36. 36 is the low. And the high tomorrow is only like 53 to 55. So the GFS is going much colder so far. And what does it do for Sunday? So Sunday morning, we're back around 40, 41, which is closer to our min, which should be around 46. But that just gives you an idea of what we'll be looking at Sunday morning. And then a bit warmer by the afternoon there. We're back into the 60s, it looks like. probably low 60s right here. As you can see right now, the GFS has been notoriously low on its temperatures already. So I'm going to warm those up a little bit is what I'm going to do when I start thinking about it. Now, Monday morning, we're in the low 50s. Now we're above normal, and we get a nice day on Monday temperature-wise as we're near 70. I'd call the 68, it shows 68 in Crawfordsville. So definitely go 68 to 70 for us on Monday. Looks like the one warm day we've got coming for a while. And then it's a little chilly again, and we reinforce the cold air like Tuesday into Wednesday. I'm going to start writing these down, 58 on Tuesday is the high. On the 20, no, that would be the 5th of May. 5 May, and it's going to be like 60, right? 60 is the high. So that's it. And the low in the morning is not bad, though. It's only like 40. So 48, something like that, right in there, all right? So that's what you've got on 5 May, Tuesday, all right? Then you go out a little bit. Let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday morning, you got a low of like 43, right? And then you have a high somewhere around, whoops, didn't grab it, maybe 60, 62 again, somewhere in there. I'm going to go 62 on here, 6 May. And then we move on, we keep moving forward, and we start to see that we get our trends this way. We're only going to be like 44 on Thursday, but it might be later in the day after a fairly warm morning at about the average of 46. It only gets to like 44 that afternoon. So we're not going to be very warm next Thursday, right? Next Thursday, it looks like we might only have a high of like 50 and a low of like 45. That tells me there's going to be some rain or something in the picture there on Friday. That'd be Thursday, May 7th, right? So that's the kind of thing you're going to be looking at right now, is that cooler weather like that coming through. And then there's another shot at maybe some low temps on Friday morning, somewhere around the mid 30s. I'm going to go with 35 on here just to be kind of safe, to keep an eye on it. But we rebound back up to like 63, somewhere in there. And then we continue on, and we just see lots of chilly weather in here is what we're going to see. We don't see a lot of warmth. Where's the first warmth? Here's Saturday. Next Saturday, we've got a high temperature of only like 60. Okay, next Saturday, 7th, 8th, 9th. We're talking the 9th already, and it's only 60 degrees. I don't mind that weather at all, but with a little bit of wind, it's a little chilly, that's for sure. You go out a little farther, you see Sunday morning next week is about normal, around 43 or so, right? And then you go for Sunday afternoon next week, and there it is, a little bit warmer. We're starting to see warmth there a little bit. We're going to be up near 70, I think, on next Sunday, and that produces more of the same. Finally, some 80s. The next chance we got at being near 80 is going to be Monday, May 11th. 80 degrees. I'm going to put 80 on here. Monday, May 11th. That's the next chance we'll be above, well above, right? I'm not even seeing 70s on here. We're seeing lots of lower 60s in here. Rebounds for a couple days there, Monday, Tuesday that week for some warmth. There it is. And then it stays in a little bit longer. So it looks like a chilly start to May for sure. But what's going to produce that, right? Let's go out. Let's take a look at what the big factors are with systems that are going to produce that kind of weather for us. Where am I at? Oh, I'm in the right place. Winter. There it is. Precipitation type. Okay. So, but I got the wrong map somehow. I caught that one crooked map in there. There we go. Midwest. Let's take a look at it. So here we are on today. All right. Today. Boom. Here comes our system. There. Well, let me get across today. There we go. Didn't go back far enough. So here's tonight, right? Here's the rain coming in. Same scenario. Roughly 9 o'clock, it shows some rain getting in the area. By 11 or so, it's on top of us. Passes on through. Leaves some sprinkly weather. It's annoying during the day tomorrow. Then Saturday night, another little system goes by right in here. Brings us another chance for some rain Saturday night into Sunday. So, well, at least we're talking at night, right? But this could be an annoyance late on Saturday right there is what it's showing us. Now, the herd didn't really show anything, I think, at that point. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then there's a big old high kind of takes over for a little bit. And we see a little system to our north comes through on Monday. So this will be Sunday night into Monday. Here we are, the nighttime rain again. Goes through. And is it gone, or is it set up west to east on us? It sets up west to east on us, right? Here we go. It's been in this general area for about 24 hours for rainfall around us Sunday night into Monday. And then that lingers into Tuesday. And so what have we done? We're kind of cutting off any warm air from getting up here. We've got a high right here that's going to be in control. I think it's a high is what they've got on here. That'll be here trying to kind of push out this ugliness of this weather that's right down here. When you draw it in, you're gonna with your screen brush, you're gonna put a low here and a high right here, kind of battling each other. But the low has got that west to east look almost. Here it's starting to become more southwesterly as this low passes on down to the south, right? And then as it does that, we finally open up a little bit by Wednesday, middle of next week. So we're going to have lots of in and out stuff next week, but no major systems, except for that first one that goes through, which is way back here on Monday into Tuesday, right? When we start to really get annoyance rain. It's going to be there. Maybe it's not severe weather. Maybe it's not thunderstorms, but it's definitely some annoyance rain. Then it sags south of us for a while, Tuesday into Wednesday, and then we get another system coming in, a pretty decent looking system, Wednesday night into Thursday. So here we go, Wednesday night. By Thursday morning, we still got rain, but then we start to clear out, and we look better. Here's a high, right? Boom, high right here. You can pinpoint that pretty easily. And we're on the north side of the high, and we can see the 540 line bouncing through here. So you can see why our temperatures are chilly. There's just no openings. There's lots of clouds. There's rain here and there coming in through the nighttime hours. There's another little system Friday night into Saturday next week. So we're seeing a little bit of everything. Then there's a big broad high that sets up on next Saturday. All right, so next Saturday shows a big broad high. And you're saying right here, this big circle is a high. All right, okay, so there it is next Saturday afternoon. What is it doing for us, okay? First, we got to take a look at it. We go back, here it comes, and it's diving out of Canada, unfortunately. Look, it's up here on Friday night into Saturday, right? And then where does it move to? Well, it kind of moves. It kind of reorientates itself, and they put it right about here by Saturday night. Okay, so what is it doing during the day on Saturday? Well, it's pulling all this air down here, right? It's keeping us cold. We haven't seen any changes in any influxes like we were seeing, right? It's going to be a couple days later, right, still before we hit any temperatures that are worth anything here that of value. Because I know most of you wanted above 60 degrees, generally speaking. That's kind of why I go with that. And we just don't have a lot of those days. We have a lot of days around 60 in the 50s for the next couple weeks here. And then that's just that high lets up a little bit, allows a pretty good looking system. More rain kind of setting up, not west to east, but kind of close to that. And then finally, by that following Monday, here comes some rain, and we start to change the pattern a little bit. The low is now coming from here, not from here, right? And we had one system early going along here, trapping us kind of to the north. So, and then systems start diving down. Well, finally, by next Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we start to see systems coming this way, and that will tap into the warmth down to the south a little bit more, hence the fact that we are going to maybe see some 80-degree temperatures by, by this Tuesday and Wednesday. See, we start to see the flow is coming this way now, right? And for us, with Lafayette right there at the tip of the arrow, you can see how we can start pulling in some warm air in here. But it's very unsettled. Look at this. There's a low here. There's a low there. Maybe a low there. We've got some little something here, right? And all of them have their own little bit of rain with them, associated with them. Some are stronger, right? Rain band here. Some are weaker with the rain band to that one. And then this one has a pretty good allotment going to that low right there. So that's what you're going to see later in the period. That's middle of the month, though. Now we're talking May 12th, 13th here. Very much a rainy period there with systems coming and going, but systems starting to become more spring-like coming from the southwest and from the west. Finally settling in on a nice high over the area for Thursday and Friday, May 14th and 15th. Okay, that's a long ways out, but you can see what we're talking about. So I see a lot of unsettled weather there through the month. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But the trend of cold weather is still with us during that time frame, all right? During that time frame. Let's go back to the weather currently, all right? And remember my buddy Chris's computer program he made here? It's called Cloud to Ground Weather. He calls it C2G weather. And you go to C2, the actual number 2, C2G weather.com, and you can set up a little profile there and look at some of his stuff. And it's taking the all the numbers from the models, and it's kind of showing it to you here in a number form, so you can see it pretty easy. Like we're running across the temperatures here this morning. Here we are. It is what, almost 14Z. It's 13. Let's go. It shows 44 at 13Z, and what were we? We were 46 now, but I think we were 44 at the top of the hour. So it's pretty close right there. Going to 49 by this next hour, right? So you got your temperatures across here. It only shows a high of around 61 at like at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, so there's the temperatures on that. You can see that. Shows you your dew points, so you know that. Dew points gives you the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere. It tells you how... when they talk about relative humidities, that's the two of them put together and gives you an idea of how much moisture is in the air. So 90% humidity at 32 gives you a RH, a dew point of like 22. But at 92, an RH of 90 would give you a temperature, an RH value for your dew point of like 85. So it would be very, holds a lot more moisture depending on where it is and what type of system it is. But this shows a lot of cool stuff. Like it shows the visibilities in here. It shows that there was some potential for a little drop in the early morning hours, maybe due to the fog, and we got some of that in the foggy area there. And the airport is out close to that, so that's why it's registering that pretty well. It tells me what it thinks ceiling heights might be, where the bases are. And you notice here it's showing 200-300 feet in the early morning hours when there could have been some fog. Then it raises up and shows us that the heights coming in will be around 6,000 feet roughly of some of the clouds we see coming in at the beginning. We'll see cirrus above that, but it'll be scattered, so it's not really showing up as a ceiling at all. And this is telling me the LCL. Doesn't really say we're going to have a ceiling until about 11 o'clock tonight. That's 11Z. So that's 8 o'clock tonight. Our first ceiling is about 7,000 feet. Now you can see how this can help pilots too, right, for aviation. Definitely. So 8,000 feet, and we have a chance for some rain coming in at around 3Z, which is 11 o'clock. That's what we were looking at on the model, right? It doesn't say that we're going to get much of anything from that first early stuff. So 10 to 11, we got stuff coming in, and we got rain. It's pretty good rain. The best chances for rain are around 2 in the morning, where we have some accumulations of only less than 1/10 of an inch. So we're not talking a lot of rain overnight, but our ceilings drop down to like 1,000 to 2,000 feet in many areas, and that would be for aviation pilots. Need to know that, especially. Now the good news is that's early in the morning, so we're not going to see much. 6Z is 2 o'clock in the morning, and the ceiling's like 2,500 feet. For any pilots coming in. And then in the early morning hours, like at about 5, we're starting to lose our chance of rain, and then it's just kind of hit and miss. Maybe 8 o'clock, it's got a chance for a trace of some rain. Remember, it was very widely scattered behind it, and then it shows it goes out farther, all the way out to 00Z on, that would be, let's see, Saturday morning, right? And it shows not much happening there at that point. And we go all the way out to 6Z, which is 2 o'clock in the morning, our time frame. And it doesn't show a big chance of rain. We do see some cloud cover clearing out overnight that night. What does it go for a low? Saturday morning by 2 in the morning, it says it's going to be 37. So that's the morning. This stops at that time frame before that. Okay, so we're getting that time frame, and it kind of shows the numbers. What's he got for tomorrow morning on here? It only shows like 42, 43 here for tomorrow morning. So not as cold, but there we go. Saturday morning, still the morning that we're looking for the chance of being really chilly and that frost advisory coming out, or freeze advisory. Looks like this morning it went for 37. And I'm not sure if we actually got to that number or not. I haven't seen the details on that. When we go back to our current weather, it's 46 and sunny. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles an hour. Looking pretty nice. It's going to be a decent day most of the day. Increasing clouds later. There is still a warning for the river right now. Let's see if we can pinpoint that real quick. So there's the river. And it's a flood warning. It's not too bad. On Wednesday, at 9:30 last night, the flood stage, they were at 11.7 feet, so they were above. I think 11 is the flood stage, and they were at 11.7, looking to peak at around 12.3 overnight last night, and then dropping below flood stage, possibly. It does say flood stage is 11 feet, and be cautious. It's still valid until this afternoon, and then I believe they think it's going to drop below. And the rain tonight will not affect it too much at all for the river itself. Meanwhile, no other advisories around us for anything that we have to worry about. If you go out a little bit, you can see there's some advisories for dense fog up near Milwaukee. Don't see any advisories around that system in Iowa at all. Right, so no thunderstorm problems there. And when I went and looked at I'm not even going to show it to you, the SPC model showing you all the weather, we were no chance of even thunderstorms was on the picture. But I think could be a crack of thunder tonight. Don't be surprised. We saw it as we looked at the lightning charts there, and we saw what was going on there. All right, so now this is updated a little bit. It says 60 today. I'm going to go for 61 or 2. All right, I think we're going to be just a hair above that, it looks like right now. All right, 53 tomorrow. That's it. So mid-50s, mid to lower 50s on Saturday. Chilly, yes. Cold in the morning. This 32 is actually probably set up for Saturday morning. So this will be overnight into Saturday. Boy, it's going to be chilly. Then Sunday rebounds decently. We're going to be somewhere around 62 to 60. I'm going to go for 65. We'll keep the low right around 48. And then Monday's your warm day. And then it starts to be kind of just in and out, right? So 66, 62, then we're back into the 40s for highs on Thursday. Friday, only 58, maybe Saturday back up to near 70. So out of this, 1-2 days make it to the actual average high for this time of the year. And when you look at that and you go back, none again for this week. Now, the lows are all below normal for a couple days. Then they all pop above normal. And we just kind of like for Monday, both the low and the high will be above normal. Monday looks like it's going to be a pretty decent day, at least on this front. This is what we see. Chances of rain are very limited. They come in overnight again. Every time, looks like we're getting a lot of, we're in one of those streaks where all of our rain is coming in at night. So here we are Monday, Tuesday. See there, Tuesday morning, overnight, 2 to 4. Then we get some showers in the afternoon, potentially on Tuesday. And this is taking information straight off the model. I massage the temperatures. I look closely at the rain like we all did during this hour and this 45 minutes trying to figure out where everything is at. So looking pretty good on that front right now. All right, so now that leaves me time for one thing that everybody is excited about doing, and that is talking about the Cubs. They won again last night, beating San Diego in San Diego, and the only thing I'm bummed about that is I never got to that new stadium in San Diego. We went to Jack Murphy. We watched baseball out there. Craig remembers going there to watch some baseball games there, watch some football at that stadium too. The Chargers were there. So they played San Diego out in that new stadium. I call it new, but the stadium's 25 years old, I think, already. But they kind of built it into a building into the background. It's pretty cool. But the Cubs pulled out another 2 wins in a row again. Now they are after a 3-game losing streak, but they had that 10-game. So they're like 12-3 over their last 15. That's pretty good. Not bad with that losing streak in there. So they're playing some good ball. They're getting closer. Let's go look at the ESPN webpage. And the ESPN webpage says, what about this, about Major League Baseball and the Chicago Cubs? What's it show? They are now 19-12 on the season. They won 5-4 last night. Their guy came in with the bases loaded in the 8th inning and nobody out, and he only gave up 1 run. The reliever did. Got a pop-up, then I think he got him to hit into a double play, and the Cubs hung on. They had a 5-3 lead when the inning started. They finished with a 5-4, and they went down 1-2-3 in the 9th. San Diego did. So the Cubs won that ball game 5-4. Okay, so they are in second place by a half a game over Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 19-11, Cubs are 19-12. St. Louis is 17-13, right? Milwaukee's 15-14, 16-15. What other division in baseball has every single team above 500? None do. Let's see if we can get everybody in here. Does anybody? Nope. Let's see. American League East? No. 1, 2, 3 teams are below 500. American League Central? One. They only have 1 team that's at 500. So when that's in the American League East, 1, 2, 3 teams below 500. In the National League East, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams below 500. The National League Central, everybody's above 500. And then out west, you got 2 teams above, and actually 3 teams above. The Arizona's playing good too. That's the Cubs' next victim, I would like to say. Hopefully they don't get stung by the Arizona Diamondbacks bite, right? But they have 2 teams under 500 out there. Although Colorado at 14-17 is about the best I've seen them play in how long? I don't know how long it's been since they've been a winner out there. St. Louis is a little hot right now, 1-3 in a row. Cubs are at 2 in a row. Atlanta 1-3. Who else has won 3? That's about it. Chicago White Sox have won 3 in a row. Look at them, 14-17. Huh? Not bad. The White Sox might be a little bit of a fight there for the Cubs. What's it look like? Wild card. Looks like the Cubs are in the lead for the wild card right now. They're a game and a half behind San Diego, or out of games back ahead of everybody. So them, San Diego, St. Louis right now. It's way too early to be worrying about that. All right, so there's your standings. There's where the Cubbies are. They won a good game yesterday. Some of the highlights, Pete Crow Armstrong hit a home run. I'm not sure. I don't think Saya played yesterday. If he did, he had a rough game. Those kind of things happen. But the pitching staff, it's put together with duct tape, Elmer's glue, and a little spinny toy on the top, right? That's how the guys are coming in out of the bullpen. They have lost like 10 arms already. They're only a month into the season, not even fully. Yeah, I guess they are fully. A month into the season, they've lost 10 arms out of the pitching staff, including 2 starters. So they are pulling guys from everywhere, and these guys are doing a pretty good job. Most of them are really going. Even the guy who walked everybody, he started that 8th inning, he walked the first 3 guys, and then they took him out. He had had great stats up to that point. So, hey, they can't pitch great every single day, right? Just the way it works. I don't care what anybody says. It's tough to do that. All right, Cubs at home, they are 11-5 away. They're 8-7. That's what they always say. You want to win 2 out of 3 at home, and you be above 500 away, and you got a chance to make it into the playoffs. They have a run differential of plus 35. This right here, -5 for Cincinnati for the run differential, tells me they will fall. Right? Tells me they've been way above what they should be. You should never have a run differential of -5 and be 8 games above 500. right? This will come back to its norm. If this is their norm of being run differential like this, it won't last that way all season. And if the Cubs run differentials like this all season, then they're just going to keep winning. They're going to win 2 out of every 3. They'll have a stretch here or there where they lose, but like the last 10, they're 7-3. All right, so the Braves are 8-2. Braves are playing great ball. They're the only one who still only has single-digit losses, I think. Yep, that's it. They're the last team. At 9 losses. They're 22-9. That's a 7-10 record. There you go for your winning percentage. I knew we needed a little baseball in there. Had to get that in there, all right? Okay, so let's go back real quick. Let's take a real quick look and see what the new model has. It's still 46 degrees outside. Let's finish up with what the model had on there. Go back to the HER, because I think the HER, yeah, there we go. It's like 97%. That's close enough for government work, right? Bill's laughing now. He knows what I'm talking about. So Bill said it looks like they'll be in the upper 70s, maybe low 80s on this coming Monday. So much, much nicer down there for them. I think Bill's gotten so old now he's liking the warm weather. Oh, that will get him. The old jokes come out. That's only because he's a little older than me. But we used to have fun with that. I was the young guy in the crew. You got to have the young whippersnapper who's stupid and idiotic half the time. That's me. I got it. All right, so here we are tonight. Here comes the rain, right? We've got it in here. Let me see if we can move it along. The new model went out to about here, I think, when we first looked at it. Let's see how far it is now. So it pushes the rain through by about 2, and then on the backside right there, there's a little swath of rain potential, right? And then Chris's model, when I looked at the actual numbers, showed there was a swipe of a chance for precipitation again early morning around 8 o'clock. And then here we are. This one shows a little more moisture coming off tomorrow. This is noon time frame, a chance for some showers during the day tomorrow. So we're not going to clear the clouds off, that's for sure. Now, whether we get these sprinkles, I call them sprinkles or a very light shower of what we're going to see here tomorrow during the afternoon is possible. Hopefully it doesn't ruin any baseball games, but we're right there. So then it's kind of leaving us by into the evening hours tomorrow night. And are we going to get another little wave of something? Here we are going into Saturday morning. There's midnight Friday night into Saturday. This little wave is all the way into Ohio. And then we got these couple little dinky waves here. Let's see if they do anything towards the end of the period. Nothing really on there on that front. It kind of keeps us out of it, keeps it going south of us. But that means I see lots of clouds in and out, which is not going to help for our temperatures tomorrow at all, is it? It's going to kill a lot of any warmth that comes in here. It'll be hit and miss depending on how much open spot. But right here is an indicator to me that we're going to be at least cloud covered at the very least, and some scattered showers in here. So this is the new run coming in now. So it's just finishing up. So that's where you are. And this time frame is 17 Zulu, right? You take 4 off of that, and that gets you what? Gets you 13 Zulu. Or actually, right, that would be 13 Zulu, but 13 local here, because we're 4 hours behind the Zulu time right now. All right, so 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, okay, and maybe even as early as 11, it wants to pop a little light shower or sprinkles tomorrow. We'll take a good look at that tomorrow too when I come back on the air tomorrow morning. Although tomorrow is going to be very quick and hurried. I have a major doctor's appointment tomorrow I can't miss, and so I will be out of here by like 9:15. So I might start at like 8:45 tomorrow and just go for 20 minutes or so and then pop out of here quick as I can. And I'll try to show you what I can in that period. You notice we just talked an hour about weather and a little bit about the Cubs, and it's easy for me to do that way. Bill and I could talk about this stuff forever. Ray's he's been watching me long enough. He's going to be a weatherman in another year. I'm going to give him a certificate. It says he watched Brian Burden's weather forecast for a year. He is now an official weather forecaster because I like teaching while we're doing it, right? Why are we doing this? We get this here, that's what you get a lot of here. You'll get teaching here, not just the bells and whistles and the cool stuff. So there we go. That's it. 48 now. It's updated out there. That's what I was looking for. 48 degrees right now. Some of the updates around the state: 44 in Fort Wayne, 48 up in Chicago, Indy's at 46, Kankakee at 50, Springfield 52. We are on our way all the way up to 60. 60, 62, that's about it. Average high this time of the year is 68 degrees, so we are far below normal for this time of the year. Going to call it a day, guys. It's been great talking with you. I hope to talk with you again tomorrow. You have a great and glorious day with Jesus Christ leading your life. That's what we need to say. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.